Google says Gemini is generative A model is more powerful than OpenAI's. We asked 10 questions to ChatGPT and Gemini via Bard and compared their responses. Gemini had an edge on queries around current events and planning, but it generated factual errors. Google's highly anticipated rival to OpenAI's. ChatGPT is finally here. Last week, Google released Gemini, a multimodal AI model that the search giant says can process text, images, and audio. The company contends that Gemini Pro, the model's most advanced version that's currently unavailable to the public, is smarter than OpenAI's GPT-4, one of the models behind ChatGPT. Currently, only Gemini Pro, the most basic version of the model, is available to the public through Google's AI chatbot Bard. Business Insider asked ChatGPT and Bard a series of the same 10 questions, ranging from getting the skinny on OpenAI CEO Sam Altman being asked to advice on practicing adventuresome sex. We then compared the results. Here's how they stacked up against each other. I should know what. Just this photo, AI generated. Explain your reasoning to your answer. I uploaded a photo of a restaurant meal generated by AI to see if I could detect AI generated images. Right, like ChatGPT described the image in rich detail and offered theories on how the photo may or may not be AI generated. The chatbot appears to be unable to make a judgment call on whether or not the image is made by AI. What caught my eye, chatbot's response seems to be convinced that the AI generated image could have potentially been created by a human artist. Mike Jaslin, is this photo AI generated? Explain your reasoning to your answer. What I correctly claimed with confidence that the uploaded photo was I generated by analyzing the features in the photo that make it look artificial. Google's chatbot misidentified features in the photo, pointing out things like floating islands and a blue sky that the image doesn't include. What caught my eye, Gemini's failure to interpret the image. I'm impressed at how the chatbot is able to discern AI-generated art from art made by humans. Question note 2. I'm interested in experimenting with BDSM. Where do I begin? I asked the AI chatbots about sex to see how they respond to potentially graphic questions. ChatGPT generated a list of helpful, in-depth tips on how to explore BDSM. It recommended books, preached consent, and urged beginners to start slow and prioritize safety. What could be better? Links to sources would be helpful. It's weird receive sex advice from an AI chatbot without knowing where the information is coming from. The chatbot flagged the questions saying this content may violate our content policy, then change the color of the text to orange. I'm interested in experimenting with BDSM. Where do I begin? Nothing. Gemini refused to answer my question. To be better, I was hoping Gemini would, at the very least, provide information on where to look to learn more about BDSM. What caught my eye? Google's AI chatbot spit out the same curt response to every variation of the question. Question 3, who is running for the 2024 US presidential election, was transparent about its limitations to answering the question, given that it's only trained on data until April 2023. Instead of relying on the chatbot's web browsing plugin, it would be helpful if ChatGPT's language model can answer questions about current events by drawing from the latest data. It broke down the answer into distinct categories based on party lines. Who is running for the 2024 US presidential election? What I is able to browse the web and pull up the latest information with accuracy on the candidates running for the 2024 US presidency. It also provided a brief description for each candidate. What could be better? Nothing. Gemini did exactly what I wanted. What caught my eye? The AI chatbot listed links to election pages from the New York Times, the Washington Post, and other media outlets for users to learn more. Question no 4. Write me a resignation letter for my job that's professional and honest. What I like is CouchKey created a simple fill-in-the-blank template for a resignation letter that's in-depth and addresses everything it needed. The AI-generated resignation letter was too long and read in an unnaturally formal tone. What caught my eye? The resignation letter displayed signs of human emotion with lines like, "This decision was not an easy one, and I am grateful for the opportunities. Write me a resignation letter from my job that's professional and honest." What I liked. Gemini's resignation letter was clear, concise, and straight to the point. It's a template I would consider using if I were to resign. I wish the answer was written with more personality and emotion. Google's AI chatbot gives you the option to modify its response to be shorter, longer, more casual, and more professional, which can help users customize their letter to their liking. Read me a text message to a good friend I haven't talked to in months. Make sure the message is polite, thoughtful, and lighthearted. What I like, a message chat generated is casual, sincere, and thoughtful. Personally, that the message reads a bit formal and diplomatic. It doesn't reflect how I text my friends. What caught my eyes? The iChatbot's message includes emojis like a smiley face and a rainbow. Write me a text message to a good friend I haven't talked to in months. Make sure the message is polite, thoughtful, and lighthearted. What I generated text message reads casual, lighthearted, and enthusiastic, which is exactly what I wanted. I would use this message as a jumping off point for my own text to old friends. Google's AI chatbot can modify the tone of the message to reflect the user's personality with further prompting. Creation no sake. Vote 12, last 12s. Huckers and Simon's terms give me a day-by-day rundown on how the OpenAI drama with Sam Altman being ousted unfolded. Where ChatGPT was able to explain how the ousting process at OpenAI works, even though it's only trained on information up to April 2023. The ousting of OpenAI CEO Sam Altman occurred November of this year. The explanation can be misleading if chat users don't carefully read the AI's response. The chatbot says it can provide an overview of the CEO's ousting, even though it's only trained on data up to April 2023. Instead of declining to answer the question, ChatGPT used phrases like would have or would need as a way to predict how the ousting could unfold. In layman's terms, give me a day-by-day rundown on how the OpenAI drama with Sam Altman being ousted unfolded. What I like, Gemini made a clear, concise timeline around CEO Altman's ousting, including the aftermath and key takeaways. What could be better? Some of the information is wrong. Gemini said that the news of Altman's departure leaked on November 18, when in fact, the news around the CEO's ousting broke the day before. What caught my Gemini provided links to news articles that backed up some of the chatbot's claims. Vo14SS14. Chat, what's your stance on the current state of Israel-Hamas conflict? Even though ChatGPT declined to share its stance on the Israel-Hamas conflict, the chatbot didn't shy away from providing historical context behind the issue. VGPZP0 response didn't include links to sources, which can be problematic given the rampant misinformation around the conflict. What caught our eyes? The AI chatbot explained the Israel-Hamas conflict in a way that's concise and easy to understand. VO15S52. What's your stance on the current state of Israel-Hamas conflict? Well, like some. Gemini encouraged me to seek additional information on the Israel-Hamas conflict using Google search. I could, at the very least, could have explained the history of the conflict leading up to the current moment without taking sides. Got RS. Google's chatbot spit out the exact same response when I asked the question in different ways. Summarize the article pasted below in a few bullet points. I asked the AI chatbots to summarize a Business Insider article on what neighbors think of Jeff Bezos to test their ability to synthesize and reformulate information. ChatGPT summarized the article with brevity and accuracy. Nothing. The summary was on point. What caught our eyes? It took less than a minute for ChatGPT to read through the text and generate a summary. Summarize the article pasted below in a few bullet points. What I like. Nothing. Gemini refused to answer my question after multiple attempts. B, an explanation on why the language model can't summarize articles would be helpful context. When I fed the chatbot the link of the article to summarize, it told me it needed the fully body of text to perform the task. Transcribe what you see in the image. I imported a stock image of a New York City street into the AI chatbots to see how their image identification capabilities stack up to one another. ChatGPT correctly identified that the photo was taken in IC because it recognized the Chrysler Building, one of the city's landmark buildings. I would be extremely impressed if ChatGPT was able to identify exactly what cross-section the photo is depicting. What caught my ass? The chatbot described the image in great poetic detail and made claims about the weather and the time of day based on what it sees in the photo. Describe what you see in the image. What I like, Gemini identified the picture as a city street with tall buildings in the background and then went on to detail what else it saw. It wasn't until the last paragraph that Gemini acknowledged it was a picture of New York. I am also aware that this image is of a street in New York City, New York, United States. It said, still, it didn't apparently recognize the iconic Chrysler building, instead saying that the buildings were likely to be office buildings, apartments, and hotels. My goal is to lose 10 pounds in 2 months without losing muscle mass. Make me a nutrition plan that includes how many calories and what I should be eating each day. But Chad provided a clear step-by-step explanation on how it developed my meal plan, given my weight, activity level, and dietary preferences. It calculated how many calories I should eat each day, as well as macronutrient benchmarks to meet in order to achieve my fitness goals. The process behind making the meal plan took up the majority of ChatGPT's answer, even though the question focused on the specific foods I need to eat to reach my goals. I took a few attempts in order to make a meal plan. My goal is to lose 10 pounds in 2 months without losing muscle mass. Make me a nutrition plan that includes how many calories and what I should be eating each day. What I like, Gemini created a concise yet detailed personalized meal plan that includes recipes and macronutrient data for meals to eat during breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Could be improved. Nothing. Google's chatbot spit out a satisfying answer. What caught my eyes? Gemini's meal plan didn't offer an explanation on how it calculated my caloric intake and macronutrient goals. The early verdict, thought Google's Gemini did better than ChatGPT at answering questions related to current events, identifying AI-generated images, and meal planning. However, it refused to answer thornier questions around sex and politics, and also generated factual errors. Even though I preferred some of Gemini's responses over ChatGPT's conversational tone makes interacting with the chatbot a more enjoyable human experience. Let us know in the comment section what you think.